Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. Time to start turn number 3 of the Hill of Death, Champion Hill. And we're going to do just that right now, trying to move a little faster. I would think by now that you're probably getting a feel of how this game plays and what you need to do to start a turn, but let's go ahead and do it again. First thing we're going to do is move the game turn marker up to turn 3. And as you can see up here, we've got a stack of reinforcements coming in on both sides. Let's go ahead and slide game turn marker up to 3. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Union reinforcements and I'm just going to look through them real quick because there are different brigades here. So I'm going to take the ones that are in the same brigade. So here's 7th Division Artillery. I'm going to put them off board. And these are all McPherson's Corps. We've got 2 Sanborns. I'm going to put those next to the artillery up there. And then we've got, looks like Boomer. And we'll put those up there. Now, I think those are, let's see if they're all the same division. Looks like they're all 7th Division. Yeah, so if we get a division order, we could actually bring in all of those at once. It would have to be a McPherson division order, but we could do that nonetheless. And here's the Confederate reinforcements. And these are all from the same brigade. They're all Cockrell. But these are going to be under Bowen's division. Now, they're going to come in here on the map at this junction in the roads here, and I will put these, let's slide these cards, well, let's just set them off to the side over here. Well, I like to get them off the board, so let's just move these cards up. So there they are off to the side. They will enter here if we get those reinforcements. Looking at the sequence of play, the next thing we're going to do is the command decision phase. And so in learning the game, this is probably the most confusing part, but it's really not confusing at all if you just step through it. And we're going to grab the Champion Hill, this Bloody Hill scenario, and just it tells you exactly what to put in these decks if you just read it. And we know that from the last time that the 2 CIC cards go in, you've got a Grant B and a Pemberton B. There are Grant A and Grant B, or Grant B. There's Grant A and there's Pemberton A cards in the game also. So this tells you to grab the ones that are specific to this scenario. Those 2 go into our activation draw pile. The Fog of War and Friction of War cards always go in, and I'm going to actually separate these this time because last time they came up back to back. I have to do a little bit better job of shuffling. And then go back to your scenario book and look at what it says. And we'll look for the event cards. Again, that's not going to change. At the beginning of the scenario, it tells you the event cards that you will use. That doesn't change, I don't think. Let me look through the game turns real quick. And again, the game turns, each turn will tell you what is going to go into this activation draw pile. So yeah, the events aren't going to change for this scenario. And it tells us that we are indeed going to do just what we've done in the previous turns. The Union will get 2 cards of their choice from the random event deck. Confederates will get 1, and then the Union will get 1 random one seeded, and the Confederates will get 2 random cards seeded. So let's take a look and see what random event cards the Union would like to see in this deck. And looking at the board again, we really need maneuver cards this time because I want to get these forces up quickly. And I need to get those reinforcements on the board. So I'm going to be leaning more towards maneuver cards for the Union and attack cards. We still need to be on the attack here. And I'm saying I'm looking for maneuver cards in the event deck. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not looking for the actual order maneuver. There is a, the standard formation card order of maneuver. In the event decks, there are random event cards that will allow you to select, say, a brigade and move it with 1 order. So in a case like that, I could attempt to move 1 brigade with that maneuver order. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And so you can see here, here's a good example of that. This is that tactical initiative order, Union Brigade. And if you roll whatever it says the modifier is for its cohesion rating, you can immediately activate that brigade with any order. So that order in this case would be maneuver because I want to try to get the units forward as fast as I can. So let's see, I think I am going to play this On to Vicksburg card, the one that allows the Union to re-roll the red and the white or the blue die. So I'm going to definitely put that one into let's set that off to the side to show I picked 1. And then the other, I think I'm going to grab this artillery one. We had this last time. I don't think we played it. but this will actually increase the range of an artillery unit. And I'm thinking I'd like to get up here. I've got an artillery unit over here. I'd like to get him up and maybe start taking shots, so that might come in handy. So there's our 2 choice cards for the Union. Now I'm going to randomly pick another event card, and we'll pick this one. So that's the 3 event cards for the Union. Now the Confederates get to choose 1 card, and I think I'm going to grab their Fire Combat. Yeah, the Fire Combat. So this is Murderous Volleys. I like this card. This is the one that increases the cohesion rating on the combat chart over here 1 column. So that's pretty powerful. So I'm going to put that in the deck, and then I'm going to shuffle the remaining Confederate event cards. And we will grab that random card, and we'll keep shuffling and grab that random card. So that's 3 event cards for the Union and 3 for the Confederates now in that deck. And then the last thing we need to do now is seed the activation cards for the different commanders on each side. So going back, look at turn 1, and it tells you in blue the ones that have to be back into the game. So we know that the CIC cards are in. It tells us that in turn 1. And then Stevenson's division is also in blue. So Stevenson's division is going to get 1 card. So let's go ahead and pick our Stevenson card. Remember, it's the 3 orders: maneuver, attack, and defend. And I think for Stevenson, I'm going to put the defend card in, telling him to defend. So let's put that in. So that is Stevenson's card. Looking at turn 2, there's nothing in blue, so we don't have to worry about that. And then turn 3, this is where it's a little bit different. It tells us that we get to seed 1 formation card for McClernand. Well, that's the same as the first turns. But now 2 formation cards for McPherson's Corps are going to go in. So it was 1 and 1, and now turn 3 tells us now it's 1 and 2. So let's choose those cards. I will grab, who we want to grab first? It was McClernand. McClernand gets 1, so let's grab his. And McClernand, again, that's the MCs. Those are along here. And I think I'm probably going to, and actually I think, no, that's a McPherson up there. So I think I may grab a maneuver card here for McClernand. So I want to try to bring these forces up. We need to get in there and start doing some damage if we can. So there's the McPherson maneuver card. So we get 1 from McPherson, or McClernand. I'm sorry, I'm saying McPherson. I should be saying McClernand. And now we're going to pick McPherson. And this is where it says he gets 2 now for the entire game, the remainder of the game. So I'm going to pick one of these McPherson cards. I think I want a maneuver one in there for sure. I do want to get these reinforcements in, so I'm going to put his maneuver card in. And then his other, now there are enough cards that I could put another maneuver card in if I chose to do that. I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to put a defend in there for McPherson, I think. And the reason I say I'm going to put a defend is I've got a stack up here that is, I think they're on their disrupted side. They are. So I could work on getting that stack out of its disrupted state. So I'm going to put that in. So that's 2 cards for McPherson. Quick glance at turn number 3. And yeah, so it says we have to put in 1 formation card for Bowen. So that's not quite it yet. So I've got to reach over here and grab Bowen's card. So there's Loring. We don't want Loring. So Bowen. So Bowen gets a choice of 3 orders here. We get defend, attack, and maneuver. So we put one of those in, and yes, you probably guessed it. All of his units are over here off the map. So I'm going to bring a maneuver card in for Bowen. So let's put that in. And now we have another, let's just put it down here. So now we have Bowen and Stevenson out there. And looking again at turn number 3, that is going to conclude the activation pile setup. So that's all here. Let's go ahead and give it a quick shuffle. Maybe not as quick as I did last time, because we want these cards to be mixed up as best we can. And oops, I'm knocking cards all over the place. All right, so let's see. Let's call that good, and I will split the deck right about there. So that's going to be our activation card draw pile. And that's it. We are now ready to begin turn number 3. So let's do it. Let's pull that first card, and it is the Friction of War card. Interesting. Hopefully the Fog of War card won't be next, or maybe that would be a good thing if it is. I don't know. So The Friction of War card says discard the next activation card drawn out of this deck. So whatever I draw now will be useless. And it is the McPherson card. Activate 1 division defend. That's bad because I wanted to use that to rally this stack back into the game. So now that will not happen. So both of those cards go into the discard pile and we draw the next card. Union Artillery Batteries. So this is the one that increases our artillery range. And I'm going to have to hold that because I do want to try to get this artillery unit into position first and then use that card. And again, you saw the risk in holding cards in your hand. They can be taken away from you. So we go back now, and of course, remember your hold card at a phase where you can spend cards that you're holding, but we don't want to do that here, so just simply draw another card. This is the Murderous Volleys card for the Confederates. So again, we can't really use this now. This is after combat, so they're going to hold this in their hand. We'll draw the next card. Aha, so Bowen comes out. So this is Bowen Maneuver, and this is where I want to bring in the reinforcements. So these reinforcements will come in, their first movement will be into this hex, and I'm going to say they're coming in on road. I'm going to say that they're moving at the movement rate of 1/2 as they come in. So they will start at 1/2 and then go from there. So let's grab these. These are all Cockrell's Brigade. We've got 2 artillery pieces in there, and they are smoothbores, so they don't have the range. And we've got a 10, an 8, and a 6 infantry. So the 10 and the 8 and the 6 infantry, I guess we need to decide on where we want to send these and how we want to mix and match the artillery. Do we want to keep the artillery together? Do we want to put some artillery with the infantry? That's kind of what we've got to figure out before we start moving these things. And I think probably for now, what I'm going to do is split up the artillery and infantry. So we'll have the artillery move and then have the infantry move as a group. And as far as stacking limits go, we are at 18 and looks like 24. So we're just within stacking limits of this stack of infantry. And I think I'd almost like to see about moving this artillery. Well, let's see. So we're going to go 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can get these units up to this victory point location and the hex just north of that. And I think I'm going to move the artillery all the way up to the hex north of this victory point location with the intent of getting it situated maybe up here to take shots at these Union soldiers coming in, or over here at the Union coming in from the east. So let's do that. Let's take these 2 artillery units. They're going to go 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get them at their extreme limit there. They're on the road, so they can do this. So we're going to put them in here. And now this stack of 24 strength points worth of infantry, they're going to go 1/2, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to have them stop on this victory point location. So they are maneuvering into position. Again, they came in off board. This is the entry point, and you spend your first movement point in the entry hex. So that's what we did. That's going to be the maneuver card for Bowen. So that is done. Go back now to the held card phase. No one wants to play a held card. Next activation card. It's another Confederate card. Fort Dixie. Choose a rebel-occupied hex. Each shaken unit in that hex removes its marker, and each disrupted unit in that hex becomes shaken. This is regardless of proximity to an enemy unit. And I think we have only one unit that's got a marker on it, I think. Let's see, these are okay. There's this one Lee unit that's shaken up here. Oh wait, there's another one over here. This is the one I think that I may have forgotten and never removed it from a previous playthrough, but I'm going to leave it because I'm not really sure. I'm going to choose this Lee unit and take away his shaken marker. So let's do that. He is no longer shaken. And I'm pausing because that's the play immediately. So there are 2 options here. Play immediately was to remove that shaken marker. There's a hold. Choose a rebel occupied hex. 1 shaken unit in that hex removes its marker, and 1 disrupted unit becomes shaken. So it's, I guess I could just hold it. That, okay, no problem. I did want to take away that shaken off of that unit, so we're good. Back to the held card phase, no. And the next activation card is On to Vicksburg. So this is another one that the Union's going to hold because it's a re-roll your red and white or your blue dice. So we're just going to put that over here and hold it. Next activation card is Inspirational Leadership. Play before any fire or assault combat dice roll. So this is the increased cohesion rating for the Confederates. So they're going to hold that. And now you can see we've got 2 cards for the Union in hand and 2 cards for the Confederate in hand. So that's, again, very risky in this game. Back to the next activation card. And you can see how fast, once you know the rules, this is a very fast playing game. And it's very easy to remember the rules and go through it. So really nice job with making this a light, fast playing Civil War game. I really like that. The next card is McPherson. It is the maneuver card. And now is the opportunity, the chance for these reinforcements to come in. So this might require some thought as well as to how we want to pull these reinforcements in. We've got, these are rifled. Well, one's rifled 12, the other's rifled 10. And then we have, it looks like 14 and 14 for each of those infantry stacks. I'm going to start with this artillery. I think what I may want to do is bring this artillery forward. Honestly, looking at the map, it'd be nice to get this artillery around and up on this hill and then start firing at the Confederates. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Let's start them in that direction because I'm not quite sure yet. Let's see. So it'd be 1/2, 1, 2, 3 to get them back here. 1/2. Let's see. 1/2, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I want to put them at the base of that hill. Yeah, let's put them there. So we're going to go 1/2. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take one of these stacks of infantry. Let's see, this is, who is this? This is Sanborn and Boomer. Let's take Sanborn first. It would be 1/2, 1, 1.5, and then there's a stream there. So I got to be careful to cross that stream, I believe is an extra and 1 additional movement point. So it would be 1, 1.5, 3.5 to get him there. But I think I might want to do that. I'm going to move him. Yeah, let's do that. So he's going to come out here. So it's 1/2, 1, 1.5, 3.5 to here. But there was 1 to move into the hex plus 1 for that stream. And then now we have Boomer. And I don't think he can stack down here because we have, yeah, that would exceed stacking limit. Another option is to kind of move him with the artillery and maybe see about coming around this way and getting up on this hill. Same elevation and then moving forward. And I think I'm just going to bring them forward. I don't really know exactly which way I want them to go yet, so it's probably best to stay on the road. Once you go off the road, especially when you get into woods, you really slow these units down. And as you can see, it's hard to maneuver them. You get very limited opportunities to maneuver them, so you got to really think about where you want them to end up. I think in this case, though, it'll be 1/2, 1, 2 to get them here. And they can move through this unit. I could bring them forward. I could even bring them up to the base of this hill. It'll be 1, 2. Yeah, they could definitely get up there. Maybe I do. Maybe I want to try to get up that hill. 1, 2, 3. I could actually bring them up on the hill, I think. I'm looking at that correctly. I think, yeah, they can go 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 3.5 to get to that hill. Now let's see. I don't know what's over here. So that is that 20 strength stack there, though, and it would be right in their face. They're only at 14. That would be very risky. I think I'm still not sure. I haven't put a whole lot of thought into how strategically how I want to approach this hill. That's the problem. I probably should have thought more into this, but that's okay. And you see some interesting situations develop through my bad strategy playthrough. You know what I think I will do though? I think if I put them here, then this unit, well, no, are they on higher elevation? They are on the higher elevation. I was going to say, I thought they were on a lower elevation, so they couldn't even see that unit, but they're on that higher elevation. They would have to move forward to take a shot, though, because I don't think with line of sight they could even see. Let's move in there. Let's bring this, oops. Let's bring the boomer division down to here. So that'd be 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5 to get there. So let's just do that. We'll put him there. And that is the McPherson activation card. Back to the held phase. No one wants to play a held card, so we draw another activation card. And it's the Grant B card. And so that is activate one division from McPherson's Corps or the 12th division only of McClernand. So the 12th is up here, I believe. And let's see, so that's the artillery. That's 12th though, right? Yeah, that looks like 12th. That's 12th, that's 12th. And I think, wasn't there some more 12th units? I think these might be 12th over here. Yeah, those are 12th. So there's an artillery unit there. The 12th is kind of spread out here. I don't like that. So I think what I will do, since we lost our, I think we lost our defend card. I was going to use a defend card to try to get this unit back into shape. I might choose to activate one division from McPherson's Corps and give this the defend order and let it fix itself. So these are all, let's take a look here. These are all McPherson. Are they all the same division? So it's like Division 3. So, yep, those are all the same division. I could certainly do that and get those just back up to shaken and then bring them forward again. But do I want to do that? And then are all of these McPherson over here? No, it looks like, no, that's, so this one guy's off, mixed up there with a different corps, so that's not good. And then only the 12th for McClernand, so I can't move anything back here. So I'm gonna activate the 3rd division here of McPherson's Corps. So what that means is, let's see, all these 3rd division units now will become shaken instead of disrupted. So I want to get them back up there. And this will help do that. Now these are all simply shaken. I would like to get them back to full strength, but that may not be possible. All right, so that's that. Now we need to get them forward. Nobody wants to play a held card. Back to the activation deck, and it now is Stevenson, defend. Well, this might be an opportunity to remove another. I think we only have one shaken left on this guy. To remove that. And remember, we could also play it to move a brigade, and this is move one brigade or activate one brigade with the defend order. I don't think we really have a shot at anybody. This guy might be able to take a shot at this. I think, yeah, he's got a clear, where did my laser pointer go? Let's see. Oh yeah, he could definitely hit that guy. Would be at long range though. He is firing downhill. Try to slow him down if nothing else. And with the defend order, that would give him a bonus on his combat tables. Yeah, basically it's either going to be remove this disrupted marker or have this guy fire at this stack. And I'm going to have this guy fire at this stack because I think the Confederates need all the help they can get here. I mean, this guy is shaken, but we've got those reinforcements that just showed up. So this is probably the smarter thing to do. So let's do this. So first thing we do, let's see. So this guy is firing at, and I want to check real quick to see, cohesion ratings should all be 4. They are. So he's going to fire at this stack. So the first thing we do, you remember, is roll for ammunition problems. We roll a 5. That is no, I'll show you real quick again. That's over here on this ammunition problems chart. A 5 is no effect for that. And well, since we're over here now, let's go ahead and continue down the column shift. So real quick, this unit is 6 strength points. He's all by himself, so it's just 6 strength points. So we're going to start off on the 6th column. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this shot because that's not that great, but we will. And then look at your fire combat advantages. It is on higher elevation, so that's going to move this up 1. Not mounted cavalry, not artillery. It is a defend order, so now we're up 1 more. And now we're at target hex. That we're at infantry firing at range 2. So yep, that's long range. Now we're back down to 6, 7. Obscured line of sight, no. And were they in cover? Let's go back and look. I don't think so. Nope, they're in the clear. So that's it. we're on the 6-7 column, and we go back and just roll the dice. So let's bring the black D6 out of there. And let's see, wait, do we want to play any of these cards? So this is play before fire combat is resolved. No. No, they can't use those. Play before any. So they're probably going to want to play this one. Actually, they may want to play both of these. Play before any fire or assault combat dice roll. Any event card die roll test against a unit's cohesion rating or a break test. Increase the involved rebel cohesion. Yeah, so they're going to want to play that. That's going to increase their cohesion rating by 2. And then this says after fire combat dice are rolled, increase the cohesion test result by 1. Oh, so this is on the cohesion table. It would actually push them up a column. So they might want to play both of these here. And I don't think there's any limit to the number of these cards you can play in any given phase like this. So they may want to play both of those. I'm going to say they're going to play both of those. So again, this is going to add 2 to their cohesion rating. This one will shift them on the cohesion table. So this could be bad for the Union. Let's roll these. And oh my gosh, this might be terrible for the Union. Because that's a 62 on the red and the white. And then, well, they didn't do so good on their gray, but that's okay. Because they get that +2 for their cohesion. So it's a 2 and a 6. So now their cohesion rating is not 4, it's now a 6. And so let's go back to the charts here, the combat results charts. So start with a 62. So 62 is way down here, and that's going to put them on this T column. So that's where they start, but then we go back to this fire combat murderous volleys order card, or event card, I'm trying to say, that it says you can increase the cohesion test result by 1 type from T to S, for example, which is exactly the case here. So they're going to want to definitely play that card. That's going to get them up to S now. Now the difference here, they played this other card, this inspirational leadership card, which is going to increase their cohesion rating by 2. So that's going to add 2 to this result, and that's going to bring it up to 5. So we'll go from 2 to, I'm sorry, it's going to bring it up to 4 if I can do maths. 2 to 4. And so now it is 4 minus 6. That's a -2. But on this result column, that's actually, we're still going to do pretty good. So it's a shaken skedaddle result. And it's actually a shaken skedaddle with parentheses. So if you'll recall, that means you must take the first result and you can choose to take the second one. So they have to take shaken here, but do they want to skedaddle? And so let's go back up here now. So this is the stack in question. So they're each going to have to get a shaken marker placed under them. So let's do that. The problem with running up into this fire. So I was hemming and hawing over doing this. So that is going to give them a shaken result. And now it says that they can choose to take a skedaddle of 1. And the only place they could skedaddle would be to back here to get away from that firing unit, because of the stacking limits. They can't end up in these other hexes. So they can only go to here if they skedaddle. And then they're clogging up the road if they do that. So I'm going to say no, they're not going to skedaddle. They are going to sit right there. Go ahead and remove that. And now they can choose to fire back. This firefight engagement would start. So again, I think we're down to, that was, what is that now? A 6 and a 4. So there are 10 strength points. And I think they're going to fire back. Why would they not return fire? So that is, I said 10 strength points. I'm going to put this D6 on the 10-12 column to show that. So the cohesion ratings are down by 1 now. Oh, and so these cards were played. So let's get them into the played pile for now. And then checking the cards here. They do have this reroll card they can use, but this one's for artillery, so they can't use that. Their cohesion rating is 3. The Confederates' cohesion rating is 4. So the first thing we do is roll for ammunition problem. So let's do that. The 4, so that's no problem for the Union. They are at long range, and let's go now to our chart. They're on the 10-12 column. We rolled for ammunition. They are not on a higher elevation. They're not mounted cavalry they're shooting at, or artillery. It's not artillery canister, not a defend order. They are at long range, so that's going to bump them down too. So they're on the 6-7 column. And obscured line of sight, no, clear line of sight. And that unit is not in cover. So that's it. We're just on the 6-7 column. So let's go back and see what they get. And they may choose to play this re-roll card, or this re-roll event card, if this turns out bad. That looks pretty good though. Well, at least it does on the red and white. So let's put those over here. They're going to keep that result, but in this 4, we're going to pull that out because that can't be re-rolled. But this 1 can be re-rolled because it says that we can choose to re-roll either the red and white or the blue. And I think they're going to play this here. So now let's put that into the played pile. And they're going to re-roll the blue D6 and see if they can get a little bit better than that. And they do. They get a 4. So let's put that over here. So a 55, and yep, that is a doubles there. So that's going to end the firefight no matter what. That's going to put a shocked result out there on the Confederates. So on 55, we go up to the column above, and it is R. So we're going to be on the R table. Now we come down here. The difference in cohesion ratings, the Confederates have 4. The Union is at 3, so the Confederates will get to add 1 to their cohesion rating result here. So that's going to add 1 to the gray result. So it's going to be 4 minus 5, so it's a -1. And that is a shaken / skedaddle. So remember, that is choice of the Confederate player. Either choose shaken or skedaddle 1. So this Lee unit here can choose to take a shaken result, or it can skedaddle. And remember, we did roll doubles, so the firefight ends if that comes into the thought process here. You know, if you skedaddle, you end firefight. So it's going to end no matter what. And I think the only place he could skedaddle will be back here with this Cummings unit. Yeah, so there's only one there. He could go straight back. I think we're going to choose the skedaddle result and just bring him back. Keep him full strength that way. All right, so he skedaddles back, and that ends the firefight, and that ends this card that we used. That whole turn is over now. So all these cards go back into the discard pile. Got rid of some held cards, so that was probably a good thing. And now we draw the next activation card, and it is the Fog of War card. So let's see what we get here. We're going to roll 2d6 and read the results off of the table on the card. That is a 41, and let's see if I can read that. 41 is Fortunes of War. Rebel player takes the Fortunes of War marker. We saw that before, exact same thing. That's going to allow the Confederate player to re-roll the dice, all dice rolled. And then that goes into the discard pile. So back to the activation card pile. McClernand, and this is the maneuver from McClernand. Finally, we can get these units forward. And I know that one thing I would like to do, and I don't know if we only have a couple of activation cards left. I want to get the artillery unit forward to see if I can shoot across this gap, those Barton units on this hill. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did in the unboxing, but my great-great-grandfather actually was in one of these Barton regiments. He was in I think it was the 40th Georgia. So he was actually there at this battle. And so if we lose all these Barton units, I guess I have to stop playing because that means I don't exist. Something to keep in mind. But I do want to move. I think there's an artillery unit under here. There is, and it's rifled even. That's even better because that increases the range. So if we play this maneuver card, and well, first we can't start moving units yet. We got to roll the D6 again. So can we activate a brigade or division? And I hope it's a division. It's not. It's a brigade. So I'm going to activate who is that? The Lindsay Brigade? Yeah, Lindsay Brigade. And we are going to move them forward. So they can go 1, 2, and I think I'm going to stop them there because that would allow them to fire across either this way or this way. So let's do that. It's a shame that I can only move a brigade and not that entire division. So they're going to go 1, 2. And that is going to be it for that card. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I would love to have moved an entire division. Because if we had rolled better, all of these units could have moved forward. But they didn't. All right, next activation card. Play this card immediately. So this is during combat. Yeah, so this is a, what does the bottom say? Play this card after the rebel player finishes a formation activation. You may move one infantry unit only from that formation 1 hex so that it ends up adjacent to any Union unit. That's interesting. Either way, they got to hold that because it's a nothing they can do now. So let's just have them hold that. And that brings us to the final activation card. Pemberton B. Activate 1 brigade from Stevenson or Bowen. So now we can, it's either or, which is good, with any order. Okay, interesting. And I think I'm going to use this to activate Bowen's division, because that will get these reinforcements forward, and I need them forward. So that was Cockrell's brigade in Bowen's division. I'm going to bring, yeah, let's do that, because we can bring this artillery up to here, or over here. And I think I might bring them here. Let's see, so that'd be, that's clear, I think. Yeah, that's clear, so it's just 1 movement point. So it'd be 1, 2, and then the infantry would be 1, 2, I could put them here for 3, or I could put them 1, 2, 3, 4. I could put them here. Well, it's definitely, we're going to move artillery forward. So that is, I can get them out of there. That's going to be 14 strength points of artillery. I'm just going to move them to here. So that changed everything dramatically over here, because I was going to have these Union forces come up around this way, but now they're looking at artillery sitting up on that hill. And then Cockrell, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking because I could put him here or here. I'm going to put him here. So let's see. I think that was 3 units. Yeah, that's 24 strength points. So 1, 2, 3. Now they're over here. Yeah, that dramatically changed the battlefield over here. They got 20, what did I say? That is 18. So that's 24 strength points worth of infantry now on the hill. And they've got 14 strength points of artillery now where there was nothing. So they plugged this side of the hill pretty good. Interesting. All right, and that's going to do it for the Pemberton card. And that's going to do it, I think. So they can't play these cards. These were combat type cards. The Confederate still has their Fortunes of War card, or token, not card. So these, yep, these are going to get discarded. And that's going to do it for turn number 3. A little bit faster. I moved faster that time intentionally to show you that, you know, once you learn these rules, the game goes a lot faster. So how are we doing? Well, I really thought I was going to have the Union come up here and just kind of push with this stack against the Confederates, but that may not happen now that we have these reinforcements that just rushed in. We do have more reinforcements coming in on turn number 4. Looks like we only got 1 Union reinforcement coming in and some more. That's a rifle artillery piece and some more infantry. Those are Bowen also. So they'll come in down here. So we'll have to be rushed up to the front lines there. And I still need to get these Union troops to move forward. We got this one to move forward. And maybe I can take some shots at Barton over there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, that's it. That is it for turn number 3. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you're learning from it. This is not a tutorial. This is just a playthrough. If you notice when I do these videos, I'm careful not to call anything a tutorial. If I ever do a tutorial, it will be a lot different. It will look a lot different. And I will try to do a lot better at getting the rules right, of course. But there'll be a lot more graphics and informational stuff if I ever choose to do a tutorial. And I may do one. We'll have to wait and see. I'm thinking about that at some point. But that's it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Become a subscriber if you haven't, so you can get notified of when I release these videos, and that definitely will help the channel. It'll help it grow, and I can do more things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next time.